You want a debate about anti-Semitism? Here's the debate. Why do you sit with some of the vilest scumbags on the planet and sit there smiling and nodding when they talk about Jewish power and the Jewish media and Jewish control? Woo, have we got a heated one for you today. In this video, I confront a far-right influencer who's been sending anti-Semites to harass me because I'm Jewish. His name's Nick Cotton, and he's associated with major far-right leaders, including literal Nazi terrorists. You're definitely going to want to watch this video to the very end.
I was alerted earlier this week to a tweet that you'd put out suggesting that I was radicalized to the far right by Jeremy Corbyn. So I just want to dig into that first of all.
I mean, they were your words.
The main cause of anti-Semitism is Jewish behavior.
I don't think I told you this last time, but the thing that really woke me up to this problem, the thing that set me asking questions, first of all, was Jeremy Corbyn. Okay, now, to make it clear, I was never a Jeremy Corbyn supporter. The point
until he came out as...
No, I wasn't. No, I'm a big Piers Corbyn supporter. You realise that? You got the wrong brother.
Okay, so I need to interrupt to explain what happens next. So I knew that Nick had been trying to rebrand himself as a COVID skeptic. I imagine he was doing this because he'd seen several of his friends go to jail for extremism, and he was worried he could be next. And me going around and calling him an anti-Semite online was not helping with that rebrand. So he invited me onto his channel to try and clear his name. But anyone that follows my work knows that I'm not about to let some Jew hater use my name to launder their anti-Semitic past. So I laid a little trap for Nick, and you can now watch him walk straight into it.
I'm a big Piers Corbyn supporter. You realise that? You got the wrong brother. I'm a massive supporter of
I can believe as an anti-vaxxer and a lockdown skeptic and a doubter of vaccines, you would idolise Piers Corbyn.
Well, should we crack into this? Now, my perspective on the Israelis is I'm really concerned about what was done to them over the last 2 years. What's your perspective?
You're a COVID skeptic. You're a conspiracy theorist. No,
we're talking. No,
I understand what you're saying, but you are a vaccine denier, yes? Like you think the vaccine is damaging. Okay, you think that the vaccine is damage to society, and I assume did not take the vaccine, yeah?
No, but I know people who have serious heart conditions as a result of having taken it because of the work I do.
I don't believe you.
Okay, it's on my channel. Guys, can you confirm it?
See how easy that was, Nick? See how easy it is to push back against ideas you disagree with? Now, when you have Nick Griffin on your channel, when you have Jared Taylor, when you have E. Michael Jones, and they come out with vile anti-Semitic comments, you sit there smiling like a love-struck puppy, and you never respond. But you can respond when you're actually passionate about an issue. So you want to debate about anti-Semitism? Here's the debate. Why do you sit with some of the vilest scumbags on the planet and sit there smiling and nodding when they talk about Jewish power and the Jewish media and Jewish control, yet the minute somebody questions the vaccine, you get animated, excited, and push back? So here are a few examples of Nick encouraging and amplifying some of the most dangerous anti-Semites around. Let's begin with Chris Kearns. Now, Chris is associated with the far-right terror group National Action and Patriotic Alternative. His views are so dangerous that he's currently being extradited to the UK for far-right extremism. Now watch Nick joke with him about the fascist propaganda they used to recruit people to Nazism.
I remember putting up the greatest story never told and saying, oh, you've got to watch this is brilliant, just to all like normal people, you know, just like no likes.
Next is Sam Mellier, and just like Chris, Sam is also associated with both National Action and Patriotic Alternative. And when he was on Nick's channel, you could see the two of them celebrating the radicalization of young school kids into fascism.
And now dealing with these kids that are sitting, gaming, consuming hours of the fash, and then going back into school and just going, "Hey, miss, what about this?" It's amazing.
Saying the N word all night long, and then going into school and being told how terrible it is.
Here's Nick indulging in an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory that Jews control conservatives. The man he's joking with is Patriotic Alternative's Nazi leader, Mark Collett.
He doesn't think criticising Israel's free speech. You know, he stands for the First Amendment, but Not for that. And it
Not for that,
really
no.
would show their hypocrisy. And I think it's a great tactic.
And as if that wasn't enough, here's a few more examples. And believe me, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
This is precisely one of the reasons why the elites imported so many immigrants into our society in the first place.
You can't talk about their control over anything, or
It's quite incredible how quickly you can get a Facebook ban for just using the word Jew. I got a 31-day ban for saying "F*** Jews, man." That was it.
It is their religious duty to act as an ethnic group against others, against especially Europeans.
I'm really hammering this idea of judge people by the company that they keep.
Believe me, Nick, so am I. But anyway, let's get back to the debate. You are in bed with many far-right thought leaders. You invite them onto your stream. You express hardcore anti-Semitism. You gripe. You encourage all of this behavior, which often leads to violence for my community. I know you're smiling, but when somebody goes into a synagogue in America and shoots them up, they listen to streams like yours. They listen to people like Nick Griffin. They listen to people like Mark Collett. They listen. And so there are direct consequences to your actions and to your words. And so the reason I opened the way I did about the vaccine was because I know when it's a subject you're passionate about, you will push back. And I thought, if I push on COVID, you're going to respond and say, wait a minute, let me give you the reasons why you're wrong. Yet when someone will sit on your channel and talk about Jewish power, Jewish media, Jews replacing white people, you're silent. In fact, it's the obvious. You indulge, you engage, you get involved in it. I've got screenshots from your own Telegram. I only took like 20 minutes to research you before coming on the stream. But literally, you're encouraging people to be anti-Semitic. You've got direct quotes. This thread isn't anti-Semitic enough. They expose a Nazi. Come on, let's go and invade the comment section. Someone denies the Holocaust. Let's invade the comment section. Literally, you are an anti-Semite. You associate with anti-Semites, and you sit down with some of the most notorious anti-Semites in the world and sit there smiling and nodding like a love-struck schoolgirl.
But I just think that's an insult. I think anti-Semite is just an insult rather than a real indication of what I am, because I don't think it's the Jews. I have Jewish friends. Some of them are even Zionists, right? But we agree on this vaccine thing. And I don't see the world as us versus them, but I'm fascinated by the fact that you think I am a threat to Jewish people.
When you, in your Jacked UK Telegram group, you shared a video that says, wake up, it's the Jews, stupid.
Wake up! It's the Jews, stupid!
What do you mean by that? Explain it. Wake up, it's the Jews, stupid.
What's the date on that one? What's the date?
I can't. I can show you the screenshot. I can't show you the date. It's only got the time from the grab.
I know.
I can give you one from the 28th of July, 2020. This comment section is nowhere near anti-Semitic enough. What did you mean by that? Linking to David Baddiel. You're the one who's saying you're not an anti-Semite. What did you mean by it's not anti-Semitic enough?
What I mean is I think Kanye West has...
No, this is 2020, long before Kanye West. What did you mean when you told your groypers, your followers, your little right-wing urchins to go onto David Baddiel's web, YouTube and make the comments more anti-Semitic?
Well, David Baddiel is a very famous man with a large...
Yeah, so why are you encouraging people to be anti-Semitic to him? Alternatively, I've got a video on YouTube called Lord Jammer Denies the Holocaust. Yeah?
Uh-huh.
You responded, Joseph Cohen is fetching again. You know what to do. Do you want me to go and read you the comments? You know that people have tracked down my family and threatened my wife on the phone. You know that we have to have security experts come out and assess my house because people like you send neo-Nazis to my page and to my house to threaten me. Do you know that? Do you know that's a consequence of your actions?
I haven't done that in 2 years.
Okay, but you have done it. This is what I'm saying. So you may have changed. You may have changed your position. Yes.
No,
okay,
I don't
so
do that anymore. I wouldn't.
You're saying you're reformed.
That was a starting point for my channel. We all agree that was just a bit, but it was. The thing is, it was trolling fun. I think for you to accuse me of being responsible for people threatening your wife, because I said, post some frogs in his chat. Like, that's ridiculous.
Have you read? Should we go and read the comments now live? We can scroll through them. And this is the ones that YouTube has left. They've deleted.
For what other people post. I'm not responsible.
Of course you are. Of course, if you direct your audience to go and invade someone's comments, yes, you have a responsibility for that.
Yeah, and that's why I've dialed it back, mate. That's why I don't do that anymore.
Clearly, Nick was aware of the consequences of his actions, which is why he dialed it back. But truthfully, while he's still associating with literal fascists, it's hard to believe that he entirely abandoned these views. Now, I did approach this video thinking Nick was just your average fascist, but the more I researched, the more I watched, and I watched hours and hours of footage, the more it struck me as just a bit sad. Nick didn't come across as some evil monster, but more of a insecure joker who was just desperate to be liked. And this vulnerability was exploited by fascists while he was still quite a young man, and they radicalized him. And they did this by giving him a sense of community, purpose, a sense of belonging, and generally just heaping praise upon him. Look, I'll show you what I mean.
You come over as very, very positive, very bubbly. You've got a very, very good outlook on the world, and that's what we need. We don't need people in our movement who are sort of manic depressives, who are constantly talking about how the end is nigh. We need people with energy and positivity, and you have that in absolute spades. And when you came to the Patriotic Alternative event, you seemed to be someone who got on very well with everyone. Everyone liked to be around you.
That's how they manipulated him. And to be honest, they've destroyed his life. The decisions that he's made as a young man will now haunt him forever. He's basically unemployable, undateable, and detested by most people. And that's probably the end. I mean, that's how it usually ends. But should it? Is there a more productive thing that we can do in these situations when confronted with people like Nick? Should that be the end, or should there be some path back to civilization, some path back to humanity? So I thought to myself, with this video, I'd like to do something different. Rather than calling for Nick to be deplatformed, I'm actually going to throw him a lifeline. Nick, I know you're watching this. I'm going to throw you a lifeline to help you escape the disastrous decisions you've made and help you to overcome the prejudice that you have against my people. I'm going to personally invite you to join me and meet some of the Jewish community, meet the survivors of anti-Semitism, meet the people who you endanger with the actions that you've taken, and hopefully there's a positive path through this for you and others like you that make these disastrous decisions as young men and flirt with the far right, ruin their lives and endanger others. So yeah, Nick, if you're watching this, you know how to reach me. The rest is on you.